Is that like a big part of?
Yeah, never touch them.
Okay.
Like a lot of times people, hi, can you, and it's like, you can imagine if you're playing for 500 people and everybody comes in and goes, hi, can you right here? Can you and so never touch them and just come in, and a lot of times you'll you know, they'll smile. If they're smiling, you know, you're gonna be able to read them, but a lot of times they're like, what do you have? Okay, it's fine, you know, because they're like, you're singing "Oh What a Beautiful Morning." Fine, don't talk to me. I know, you know, I know the tempo. But if it's a song they haven't done, or if you have an interesting beginning, or you know, always write your starting note on there. Can you just give me this note? That's always good.
And of course, always be courteous, because you know the casting director could easily, you know, if they don't know music or whatever, they could easily ask, "Does he really have a seat?" "Oh yeah, I bet he has a seat," or whatever. And when they play like I said, Martin Garrett's one of my songs, and when they get into it at the very end, and if the accompanist really is into it, we were talking to Aaron, who's playing our show tonight. If you can connect with them, it makes everything so much better. And when I got done doing my whatever I did, Martin Garrett, and I dun, and he's like, and I just turned around and said, "This guy's amazing!" And the casting people are like, "I know, I just love watching him play all this." You know, and but it's really great when you can have someone who's, you know, just not like reading the paper, and they're like, "What do you got?" "All right."
Because they do that. I mean, those guys are sitting there all day, and in between singers, they have to wait. So they have a book or a magazine. They have to wait for the creative team to talk about whoever just left the room.
So basically what I do, when I go up to them, they're saying, "How do you want it?" And I'm like, "All right."
It's usually all about the tempo.
Yeah.
Usually they've seen the song, unless you know, if it's from Songs from New World, they've seen it.
And a couple of times I've been like, "Okay, it's like, dun, dun, dun," and they're like, "Just sing it to me." They're like, "Don't try to like hum it out." So I'll just, you know.
So that's the other thing, is finding audition material that you'll see. There's a lot of standards in there. There's a lot of, there's some pop stuff, there's old stuff, there's new stuff, but you really have to be able to, you don't want to go in and sing something that everybody else is singing that's like the song. Like if you go in and sing "I Am So Much Better" from Legally Blonde, you better be really good doing it, because they've heard it, at least 40 times this month, because it's like the song, or popular, or, like That's My New Philosophy, that song 5 years ago was like the audition song. And everybody's doing their Kristen Chenoweth, and it's like, well, 8 people did it before you, and you were great also, thank you, So it's good, and always have that second choice. Like, I'm going in for Les Mis. Okay, I got to see something poppy with musical theater. I'm going to bring in Where I Want to Be from Chess and High Flying Adore from Evita, and I'm gonna do one of those. And then if somebody just sings that one before me, or I don't think at the last minute, I have a backup, and then I have a second song, and then I have something totally different behind that. Because you're not going to get cast by singing one song, because they're gonna really test.
And a lot of them are like, they'll say, "Okay, I got a show coming up next show, and I'm doing full Monty or a rock song," and then they'll ask you to sing a rock song, and you're like, "But I'm in a Les Mis audition," and they're like, in their mind going, "Yeah, but I'm trying to look at you for something else." So yeah.
Is it bad to sing a song that from the show a song from the show you're auditioning for?
I mean,
that rule always changes. It depends on the production.
Usually the monitor or whatever will say, "Song." They'll say, "Okay, in the room is this person, they want 16 bars, you can sing something from the show, it's totally fine." Or they'll say, "Do not sing anything from the show." It's just kind of following directions, and you have to have
like for Legally Blonde, like if you're auditioning for Elle, yeah, they're gonna probably want to hear you sing, "Very fun," and hold that out for 8 days, because that's the main, they're trying to find somebody that, saying that line, that's something else. That's a composer's fault. It's not the actress's fault. It's a composer's fault for writing stupid, idiotic alphabet notes to end the act after she's been jumping all over the stage. If you've seen the show, it's like, and they wanted to bring it down. The composer wanted to bring it down. The producers did not let them bring that key down to the poor actress. Unfair.
In regards to nerves before auditions, what do you think is the best way to be comfortable with yourself and be comfortable with the strangers you're auditioning for when it comes to, just talking to people?
That's one thing I find it easier for me if I can I get to the audition, and immediately start going, "Okay, let me look through my song, let me read over it 8 times, even though I've done it 6 times yesterday, If there's people around me that I don't know, I'll definitely just try to start talking to them, and it passes the time. And even if you're in line, if people are like, if they're doing their thing, that's fine. You're not like, "Hey," But if someone's like just talking, you get into a conversation. I've gotten to the point where I know what my material is, and I know what I'm going to sing. And when there's 2 people in front of me, that's when I'll go, "Okay." I'll get up and I'll just stretch real fast and do something. But because I get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. The best thing for me is I just try to forget about it and When I'm done with it, I walk away and go play tennis.
What year are you here at Shorter?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, awesome. Well, obviously, the more you audition, I mean, obviously, I left college and I'm still nervous at auditions. But the more you audition, the more you'll get to know it. And as I'm telling you, when you're going to 4 auditions a day, you're like, you know what? I'm good, and I'm just gonna go sing for them, and they're gonna say thank you afterward. But who cares? Because I'm going to Chevy's afterward. I'm gonna have a margarita. But literally, I mean, like you'll audition so much if you do this as a career that you still get nervous, but it's just all they want to do is like, say I'm casting Little Women and you're Beth. You walk in the door and I'm like, well, there's Beth. Oh my gosh, she can just sing. Please just sing the song right. Because that's what they're doing behind the table. They want every single one of you. They want everybody. They want the first 20 people to walk in and be the cast, so that they don't have to call people and do all these callbacks.
So they can call the cell phone girl to come in and not do anything for the rest of the day.
Yeah, they totally want you to walk in the door and be awesome. And so that's the thing. You need to be positive in yourself, and then you need to turn on and be whoever you're being in the song. And then, if they say thank you, thanks a lot, guys, have a great afternoon, or whatever.
Yeah, if there's one thing I wish, being a Shorter, that I would have done more is, for GTC and all that, just audition more. Even if you think you know it, you're like, okay, got it, good, I'm ready to go. Keep doing it. The minute Kathy comes in here and says, who wants to do their audition? Boom, every single one of you should be fighting to get up and get in front of each other. And the best thing you can do is get as comfortable with people you don't know, people you do know. And then what's most impressive is when a casting director or director says, okay, that was great, but go back, and if you can follow direction, and I know that sounds very elementary, but a lot of people can't do that. But the minute they say, okay, do this again and make it blah blah blah, and you do it, that is one of the most impressive things.
The lady who's playing in South Pacific.
Kelly?
You like Lieutenant? No, Lieutenant, Vladimir. Her name's Loretta. I know her real name. I don't know her character name. That's Blaine. Loretta Avalacer. She's from Hawaii, and they had an open call because they couldn't find her. And she went into the audition, and was terrified, but they loved her. They flew her into New York. She's like, I'm never going to get this, but at least maybe I'll get the understudy or something. And Bartlett Shear, the director who directed Light and Piazza and other stuff, he's there. And she was like, oh, I didn't do good, because he kept saying, okay, now I want you to do this really angry. I want you to do Valley High. And this, you are trying to sell your daughter to this, you hate the military, but you want them to give you money, and I want you to do it angry. Okay, now I want you to do it like the most beautiful flowery. And she was like, oh, I'm not doing it right. But no, she was doing it right every time. And the director was saying, oh my gosh, I can tell her to be angry, and she'll be angry. I can tell her to be, she's moldable, she's directable, and that's what directors love. So if a director's there and they ask you to do something again, because that's what turns a director on, if they have an actor that's moldable, that they can go, oh my gosh.
If you ever get a